So that afternoon in the locker room, I started answering some of the boys' questions.
Hey, you having a meeting?
No, just talking. Sit down if you want to. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. Well, each of us is different from the day we're born. No two people are exactly alike. Some of those differences are inherited from our parents.
See? I said so.
Then at puberty, certain glands begin to work, and our bodies begin to change.
But where are these glands?
Yeah. And what's puberty?
Well, puberty? Well, puberty's a lot of things. Mainly, though, it's a time of change. For you, it means your bodies are changing from boys to men.
You mean like having to shave? Say, when's a guy start shaving anyway?
Oh, there isn't any special age. You're all going to start at different times. That's because everybody matures according to his own body's rules. In general, everybody grows broader in the shoulders, the ribs, and the pelvis. Your arm and leg bones grow longer, and so does your back, from the neck to the buttocks. But everybody doesn't develop at the same time or in the same way. Jim, for instance, is bigger all over than you, Pete, but that just means he started filling out earlier. You'll catch up. George now is growing tall instead of filling out. Mike is more like Jim. Ben will be tall, probably, and big all over. Well, everybody is just naturally a little different.
Yeah, but where do these glands come in?
Well, it's the sex glands, or testes, that actually get these changes going. Here, maybe a diagram will help. Here's the penis and the scrotum that holds the testicles or testes inside. Now, when you're around 14, maybe sooner, maybe later, the testes start making a chemical substance called a hormone. It's this hormone that causes the changes. It enlarges the penis itself and starts hair growing here and under your arms and on your face. It even affects your voice, makes it deeper. It also makes you grow thicker or taller or both.
That hormone, is that what you call sperm?
No, sperm is something else. Sperm is made in the testes, too. Do you all know what sperm is?
Yeah, it's the guy's part of the baby, isn't it?
That's right.
But how does it get out from the testicles?
Through tubes here. There's one from each testicle. Goes up, down again, through a storage place, and out into the penis. Now, when the penis erects, gets hard, the sperm can come out in what's called an ejaculation.
Not every time, though.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, sometimes the penis gets hard without, well...
Oh, without an ejaculation of sperm? Oh, yes, that's right. You see, all an erection is an increase in blood in the penis, which is made up mostly of spongy. Now, when something excites us sexually, this tissue fills up with blood, and the whole organ is extended or hard, erect.
Sometimes that just happens by itself, doesn't it? You know, like in the morning.
Oh, yes, you don't have to be thinking about sex to have an erection. Pressure from a full bladder can cause it, or rhythmic movements of the body, horseback riding, say. Yes, George?
Does an erection, well, does that mean you have too much sperm and you ought to get rid of it?
Get rid of it? No. But sometimes your body will do that by itself, at night. It's called a nocturnal emission, or wet dream.
Does that? Well, I was told it had something to do with pimples and stuff. Is that right?
No. No, you see, when you reach puberty and all these changes start taking place, there are a lot of glands involved. Not just the sex glands. For instance, there's one in the back of the brain called the pituitary. And then there are the thyroid glands here in the neck. Now, some things about these glands are still a mystery. But we do know that a hormone from one can affect the others. And in a lot of people your age, this may partly cause skin trouble.
Well, what can you do about it?
Oh, if it really bothers you, you should see a doctor. He'll tell you what to do. It can be cleared up pretty well these days. Hey, it's about time.
Hey, could we go on with this tomorrow?
Yeah, how about it?
Sure, okay. Come on down early, huh? Oh, yes, there were still plenty of questions. And as usual, some guys thought they knew all the answers.
Until the dope pushes her into the water. Boy, did she get mad. Maybe she was having her period or something.
Oh, that doesn't make any difference. My sister goes swimming when she's having her period.
Period? What's that?
Yeah, no, menstrual period. Don't you know what that is?
No.
Say, somebody ought to give you guys the word.
Okay, wise guy, what is it?
Hey, what's going on here?
Well, these goofballs who've never heard of a menstrual period now is trying to tell them.
And he didn't know what he was talking about either.
Yeah.
Okay, simmer down.
Growing up is fun, but some of the things Molly used to do seem a little silly now. Sometimes she gets all mixed up just thinking about it. She's changing from a child into an adult, and it's a little confusing at times. Molly had lots of questions about what was happening to her. It so happened I had a chance to answer some of them. Her teacher was sick one day and asked me to take her class. And this is true of women everywhere. So you see, menstruation is just the natural, normal process leading up to being a mother. This is a diagram of the uterus or womb, and these are the fallopian tubes leading to it, and these the ovaries which produce the egg cells. Now these egg cells are far too small for us to see, but once each month an egg cell will leave one of the ovaries, go into the opening of the tube nearest to it, and then it's on its way to the uterus. Now at the same time, the uterus has been preparing a growing place for this egg, a soft lining of blood vessels and tissues. If the egg unites with a male cell or sperm as it's on its way down the tube, it is fertilized, and then when it reaches the uterus, it settles down in this soft lining and begins to grow into a baby. But if the egg cell is not fertilized, it disappears. And then, since the lining is no longer needed, it too dissolves away. And it flows out of the body through an opening in the hymen, which is a membrane over the opening of the vagina. And so we say that we are menstruating. Yes, Barbara?
Miss Jensen, when does menstruation start?
Well, some girls start when they're 10 years old, and some when they're 16 or 17, or anywhere in between. But the average age seems to be about 13.
No, I mean what day of the week will it start? My mother starts on Tuesday. Will mine too?
Oh, it might, but it probably won't, because each girl's body sets up her own time and rhythm. And the time between periods may vary anywhere from 23 to 32 days. And the flow lasts from 2 to 7 days, also depending on the girl's own rhythm.
Miss Jensen, how often should you change napkins when you're menstruating?
Well, that depends on the amount of flow, but probably 5 or 6 times a day. And that brings up another point. Many of you girls haven't started to menstruate yet, but when you do, you will want to use a sanitary napkin to absorb the flow. It's a soft, absorbent pad, and it's made to fit over the opening of the vagina and to follow the curve of the body. The tab ends are attached to a narrow elastic belt, which you can wear around your hips or waist. Now, some girls prefer to use tampons. A tampon is a cylinder of absorbent cotton inside a cardboard applicator. It is inserted into the vagina by means of the applicator. The cotton absorbs the flow, and when it is full, you remove it and discard it. Yes, Molly?
Miss Jensen, is it true that people can tell when you're menstruating?
No, it isn't. But you should be more careful than ever about personal cleanliness and daintiness. Change your underwear more often, and be sure and use a deodorant. And pay more attention to your hair and your nails, and plan to wear your prettiest dress. In other words, be your most attractive self. And remember, menstruation is only a part of growing up. As you grow, your body changes from that of a young girl to that of a woman. It's becoming round with the beginnings of a bosom and the start of a real waistline and hips. And hair is beginning to grow in different places, pubic hair and underarm hair. Yes, Anne?
Miss Jensen, what about dancing? Can you when you're menstruating?
Yes, you can, with moderation. In fact, you can do most of the things you usually do. You can bathe or shower as long as you use warm water. And you can wash your hair if you're sure to dry it quickly. And you can swim if you wait until after 2 or 3 days after the beginning of your period. And you can go to dances and picnics. But it's not a very good idea to skate, or ride horseback, or play fast games like volleyball and basketball, or do strenuous dancing like square dancing, or anything that bounces you around a lot. In general, mild exercises are best. Ones that strengthen the abdominal muscles are particularly good. It's sensible to avoid strenuous exercise when you're menstruating. And you be sure and tell your mother or me if everything doesn't seem to be just right. Now, I'd like each of you to take one of these booklets about menstruation, and when you finish reading it, if you have any questions, be sure and come and see me. And remember, menstruation is as normal and natural as eating or breathing or sleeping.